Hello YouTube, Mr. Android HQ here, and I am bringing you a brief review of the Droid 3. The reason I say brief, this video is going to be about 15 minutes. You know, that's the length of the average review, but I will be doing my 1 hour in-depth review once Ice Cream Sandwich is released on here and I get a little more familiar with anything and everything about the Droid. This is my first Android phone, so I have a lot to learn still. I do have the Asus transformer, as I'm sure much of you know, so I'm familiar with Android, just not in a phone interface, but I will get familiar with it. Also, I know this is the Droid 3, this is kind of an old phone, and at this point, you're probably going to be looking to get the Droid 4, which will be out soon, but I mean, this is still a pretty decent phone, and if you're looking for a phone with a keyboard, you don't have many options. Say you don't want to spend the $300 or whatever the Droid 4 will be, this one will probably be down to $150 by then. With the contract, so you could save money and see what it's like, or whatever. So first of all, I'm going to go over the design of it. It is pretty heavy. I don't have the exact weight. Again, a lot of this stuff will be in the in-depth. I believe it's something like 7 ounces, so it is a bit heavy. It is half an inch thick, so yeah, it is on the thicker side too, but that's what you pay for having the keyboard. I mean, as you can see, the screen is very, very tiny compared to the keyboard with the battery and all that stuff. But that's, you know, that's the price you pay for having a keyboard that you can slide out. But I will get to the slide out later. Along the top here, you got the power button, 3.5mm headset jack, side volume rockers. It's got this little tiny hole for a sensor to tell the phone when it's closed or open, but that doesn't really matter. Along the bottom here, you have your microphone kind of in a groove in there, Verizon brand name. And then on this side you have I believe it's a mini HDMI and a micro USB, or they may be flipped around. Again, in-depth review will have the exact details. On the front you have a pentile. Unfortunately, it's a pentile LCD display, not the best resolutions. Again, will be in the in-depth. You have the 4 standard Android buttons, please focus. You have the menu, or the settings, the home, the back, and the search. And then on the back here, you have a little Motorola logo, followed by Verizon. There, now it's focused. You have a larger speaker, as well as another microphone. And you have the 8-megapixel camera with flash and autofocus. And I believe this is a little mirror to help you in case you want to take a picture of yourself. Also on the front, you have obviously the earpiece, you have the LED status indicators, which you can't really see. You have the ambient light sensor for when it's up against your face, and then you have the front-facing camera all the way on the right. Now when you slide it open, you have a full, pretty much desktop-like keyboard, 5-row keyboard, a dedicated number row. You get the 3 rows for just the letters and the characters or whatever, and then the last bottom row has space symbols. It has the arrow keys, OK, Enter, Backspace, Tab, Shift, Alt for symbols, and this is really out of focus. I'll make sure this is better for the in-depth, but again, this is just a quick overview, so don't expect to learn much from this, just about the device overall. Now, this does have a dual-core 1 GHz processor, which sounds all like super amazing, but Motorola, their modal blur, it really takes a lot out of the experience. It slows down the graphics and animations a lot. It gets pretty laggy. Changing screens is okay. I have a live wallpaper, so obviously it'll be a tiny bit better with, you know, just a still wallpaper. But even when it's like this, it's not bad, but it's okay. Nothing too good. Just got a text, sorry about that. But anyway, about the Android interface, you get the 5 screens here, with the middle one being centered. Motorola, they added a little screen transition effect, which kind of flashes it after you change screens. It's kind of weird, but cool looking, but laggy, but all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I don't like it, some people might, so it's really preference. You do have the status bar like up here. When you get text, it will, come on, focus. and I'm really going to have to work this out when I do the other one. I'll probably just use manual focus. But it will tell you if you text messages, emails, game alerts from Words with Friends, whatever like that. You hit the little red things to dismiss them. I'm not gonna, because then I'll forget about them. And then you can just slide it back up like I did. Along the top, you have your notifications. I'm sorry this is so blurry. Please don't give this a thumbs down because it's blurry. Next, you have a symbol to tell if it's in vibrate or not. If it's not in vibrate, there will be no symbol, obviously. There also is a spot for Wi-Fi, which I have Wi-Fi off. Let me turn it on quick. So when it comes on, you'll see that. Then it has the 3G status, and then it has the battery level, which is just the general kind of battery bar. And now the Wi-Fi is on, you can see it there. And then all the way on the right is the time. When you use this, it shows you the date and the time when you pull down the status bar. Again, I'm really sorry for how blurry this is. I didn't plan for it to be so blurry, it just kind of did. Anyway, as far as built-in stuff goes, Motorola has a ton of junkware, Moto print, Moto web, whatever stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's all in one spot. Yeah, here. No, that's VCast, sorry. Yeah, it's got Moto print, it's got IM, Latitude, all this stuff, Let's Golf, built in for absolutely no reason as far as I know. They just felt like throwing a bunch of apps in because people like them. Oh wait, no they don't. But hopefully Motorola gets the idea with their newer phones. They don't bog them down so much with their junk that really isn't necessary. Let's see, what else? Alright, this is the stock interface, of course. I'm reviewing it. I'm going to have it stock. So you get a dock where you can put 3 apps, and then all the way on the right you have your app drawer. And then home button to go home, obviously. It does have multitasking if you hold down the home button, but it doesn't really look like multitasking. It's kind of like the Apple version of multitasking. Although this was out before it, but blah blah blah, don't care. So it just gives you a list of the recent apps. With the ice cream sandwich update, it will be a lot better, more like the honeycomb multitasking experience. What else? A few of the widgets that are built in that I like. This combined inbox, which it shows all of your messages, emails, stuff like that. Sorry, personal stuff in there. And then it also has this contacts kind of fancy drop-down thingy where you can put your favorites there, your most contacted people, tap them, and then you can call them, go to their contact, or you can send them a text. So I like this a lot. I use it all the time, and it's fun to just play with because it looks cool. It's one of the few things that Motorola puts in that's actually good. It does have a mobile hotspot, but for some reason, I'm not going to show you, when I try to use the Wi-Fi, my device outputs, the Droid outputs, you have to like buy some kind of data package or something like that. So that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I have to like configure it or something, but whatever. If anybody knows, let me know, and I'd be glad to make a video about it. The battery indicator, I don't like it because it is just a general bar. And as you can see, I'm at 26%. And if you can kind of see that, it shows that I'm at 50 up there. It's kind of ridiculous because when I first got it, I was like, wow, this battery life's great. After a whole day, I was still at 40% or whatever, as it looked like. And then it would die an hour later, and I had no clue what's going on. So I got this battery indicator, which shows it in 1% increments. And I saw that that's really, really misleading, and you can't go by that. You have to go by what the widget says, which is 26%. So I like this phone. Well, I mean, I had a junk phone before, so I like this phone a lot better than my old phone. Obviously, there's going to be better alternatives out there. The Galaxy Nexus, I'm sure, is better. The Droid Razr, but you can't get a physical keyboard with them, and I really like having the actual keyboard. So, you know, it has its flaws, but I like it overall. Hopefully, with the ice cream sandwich update, it will bring a lot of speed improvements. Of course, it'll bring the features but I already know that it's going to bring them. What I'm hoping is that Motorola optimizes the processes a little bit better to give it a smoother experience. I mean, it has a dual-core 1 gigahertz processor. There's no reason why it shouldn't be like perfectly smooth and not lag at all. Like even that, when you turn it back on, sometimes it flashes that, and this is a bit laggy sometimes. But I mean, stuff like that. I know that the company can work them out and can make it all nice and pretty and smooth. It's just a matter of if they're going to or not. And as you can see, the battery life is not great. It has dropped down to 19% since I last checked. And now it looks like it's really kind of close to what it should be there. It's pretty low in orange, telling you that it's low, but whatever. So battery life, this thing, it barely lasts me a day, but I'm a heavy texter. I send I send and receive together about 400 texts a day. And I do go on the web or play games occasionally. So I mean, it'll last me till the end of the day usually. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it gets really, really hot in this area or over here. So that's a small problem I've noticed. Hopefully that software and ice cream sandwich will fix whatever it is that's causing it to overheat, because that is wasting a lot of energy, a lot of battery juice. But I mean, I know this was a very general review. I didn't go into much detail about anything, but I really hope you found this at least slightly helpful if you want to learn about the Droid. I almost called it the Razor. If you'd like to learn about the Droid 3. So, would I suggest you get this phone? Yes, but to an extent. I would say if you're looking for a physical keyboard and you don't want to spend a ton to get the new Droid 4, then yeah, get this. It's your best alternative. If you don't know if you need a physical keyboard or not, because I was kind of like that. I didn't know if I'd actually get used to typing on the screen. It's not that hard to get used to typing on the screen because this has a virtual keyboard too. It is just different. You're more prone to errors when you're typing on a touchscreen than on a physical keyboard. Stuff like that. So anyway, I hope you liked this very, very, well, not very quick, but for my videos, it's a very quick review of the Droid 3. Stay tuned for the in-depth review to come in probably about a month or two. And thank you for watching this. I will see you later.